Okay, everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Q&A podcast. And I am Amber Mallory, your sex educator BFF. And we have
Quincy, your favorite sex worker.
our favorite. It is my favorite sex worker. I don't think there's any other sex worker that could even take the cake for being my favorite. So Quincy, today we're going to talk about something that we all are familiar with, we all might have a little trauma associated with, or even just a stockpile of knowledge on, and that is infidelity.
Ooh,
so can you
cheaters.
Cheaters. Have you ever been the cheater, or are you the cheated? I guess would be the other verb. Are you the active? Or are you the inactive?
Okay, so for me, I don't know if I've ever been cheated on. So, for my knowledge,
in my existence,
apparently not. Okay, apparently I've not been cheated on. Have I cheated? I haven't really. I don't really think I have. But every time I've slept, trying to save my ass here. But every time I've had sex over people while in a relationship, it's always been situations where we have kind of broken up. Kind of the same deal as Friends. I don't know if you watch Friends. Were we on a break? Yes, we were. You don't watch Friends?
No, I'm not European enough to watch Friends. I feel like
I don't know if we
people
can be,
in Europe.
I don't know if we can be friends. I don't know if we can be friends. I don't know. I'm really what the fuck? You've never watched it or you don't like it?
I had to watch a few episodes in high school because a teacher would put it on, but I wasn't really keen on it.
Oh my god, have you tried it now though, now that you're an adult?
It comes on TV here and I still just I don't know if it's because I'm not starting it from the beginning and I'm just coming in on some random episode. I'm like, okay, this bitch is pregnant and this other one's crazy, but
I love Friends. Okay, anyway, so it's kind of like that. I'm sure you've seen the memes of Ross and Rachel. Are we on a break? This kind of thing.
I know that there's a thing between them, and one of them gets married, and then they're thinking about the other one, and they say the other one's name.
There's a situation. It's a situation where they get together, right? It's the middle of the seasons, and they break up. Okay, and the next day, Ross is so upset, he goes and fucks another girl. And then Rachel finds out and he starts freaking out because he didn't know that Rachel wanted to be with him and blah, blah, blah. And this whole
I can't live in a world where Jennifer Aniston isn't the first one to fuck before some plebe-ass motherfucker. I don't know who plays that Ross guy.
David Schwimmer.
Okay, well, I can't get behind a show where Jennifer Aniston isn't the one fucking.
She does some fucking on the show.
Okay, well, girl, you better be out there after that breakup. I want to see you in them streets, Jennifer Aniston. Come on, where's that walk?
So there's the whole situation, and it goes we were on a break, no, we weren't, Okay, so anyway, so with me,
that's age-old argument. Okay.
With me, every time I fucked other people, it's usually we were on a break, and that's why I always kind of relate to the Ross and Rachel story, because it always comes back to we were not on a break, and I'm wait, we were. You broke with me. You broke up with me. What the fuck, So
it's here.
Have I been a cheater? I probably not really into my mentality, because then we never kind of got back together after that. With my ex, I did get back together with him after fucking other people, but I don't give a fuck, whatever. We weren't together at that time. And I have, goddamn, Amber, you got me how you say, confessing. I feel like I'm in church.
Go ahead, honey. Give me that True Hollywood story. Let's go.
Okay, I'll mention it, but I'm sure it will come up in the conversations up ahead. I once, not 2 times, 3 times, 3 times boys from each different country. I had a boyfriend.
Oh, at the same time.
3 boyfriends. Well, 3 fuck buddies, but they all ended up being boyfriends.
Codes in different area codes.
Exactly. I was young, okay? I was young.
I thought you meant you've only slept with people from 3 different countries. I was like, damn, bitch, you was just behind 3 different countries. Come
no.
International love.
What about you? Yeah.
Well, I'm always the honest one. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. So I've definitely cheated. I dated someone in not high school. In high school I didn't really have boyfriends. In high school I was cheated on by a guy. My second
Fuck him.
It was super yeah, fuck you, Cody. Like even a like dumbass name. Like your name is Cody.
Such
like,
an American name as well, Cody.
Ugly. But no, he cheated on me with this girl who was, I shouldn't say this because, you know, like we don't want to hate on other women, but this bitch was ugly. Like, she was like, okay, so she was like proper scene, but she was a board, like super skinny, which there's nothing wrong with that. But she had negative lips. And this was before people used to make fun of white people for not having lips. She had no lips and she had snake bite tattoos. So it literally looked like as if this was her lip, you know, like.
You did not like her.
Big ass piercing on someone's chin.
Oh, okay.
You don't have lips. You couldn't even see like the color of her lips. Like you can see like where my lips start and my lips end. Like my lips ain't popping, but still. And she had a dumb white bitch named Stacy.
Stacy is mom has got it. Sorry.
Maybe her mom got it all and couldn't give any to her, but like she was with her mom and I'm sorry. And he was all about her. And I had just come out of my first relationship where I had sex and I was dating him and I couldn't have sex with him because I was traumatized because the one boy's parents before walked in on us. And then I got a full-on Jesus intervention in that moment. So I'm 15. I was like about to go on round 2 with my boyfriend. Very happy. We had like we were good. We never ever fought. We had like a really healthy relationship. And then all of a sudden we were torn apart from each other. So like I associated sex with like trauma basically. So I wasn't having sex with him. So I wasn't having sex with this guy. And so he was like, but he was writing this girl. Like I remember like we would still fool around. I just wouldn't have like PV sex with him. And I looked through his text messages because I had this gut feeling. He was driving me to my Powder Puff football game, which is where you play American football, but the girls are the football players and the boys are the cheerleaders. And I was going to my American football game and I look at his phone. We're at a 7-Eleven and he's like, whenever I'm with Amber, I'm always thinking about you, even when we're doing stuff. And I was like, break the glass. Like, I'm going to kill you. Like, I almost got out of the car and left. If I was where I am now in life, or even like 5 years ago, like when I was in university, like university Amber would have like probably gotten in the driver's seat and just drove away with his car and just left him at 7-Eleven. That's what I would probably do now. But other Amber just cried and was like, I can't believe you did this to me, and broke up with him, and like that was it. Later, he's how I got into sex work, because I used to be like, you still want to have sex with me because you say I'm so good in bed, even though you're thinking of someone else supposedly, then you need to pay me to come through. Because like you had this pussy for free and you didn't appreciate it. So now you finna pay for this because you didn't appreciate when you had it for free. So he was actually my introduction to sex work. But then in university, I did have...
so he paid you?
Yeah, hell yeah, he paid me. My tattoos, this one and this one on my finger, I was like, I need money to come visit you. Like, you have to pay for my bus to come, like, to the town. And then I get my friend who also lived in my hometown from university to drive me, keep that $100, and then he'd take me shopping when I get there. That he used to buy extensions, he used to buy my clothes, he'd buy me whatever I wanted. I just pocket. I'd make good money off that.
So this guy was someone you dated. He was cheating on you, and then he wanted to get back with you or fuck you again? Which one was it?
He said that I was just so good in bed. He wanted to have sex with me. And I mean, he reached out to me for several years after we dated. I mean, into our 20s. Well, my 20s. He was older than me, but not much older.
There's always that like, one guy, right, who just can't forget about the gorilla grip pussy, right? I have that one guy. He actually called me yesterday.
I have multiple. But I have one who's like still proper obsessed with me. That's another, the one from the first boyfriend. still writes me. That's a good story. We can talk about that a little later for infidelity, because that was infidelity on their part.
Oh.
But no, I had a girlfriend in university, and I cheated on her with the guy across the hall in university all the time.
Amber.
Even this is where people are gonna be like, "You grimy bitch." Once she came to visit me at the university, and I had sex with the guy across the hall. Like, he was my best guy friend. I mean, he was my best friend. It was like, for us, it was just like masturbating, but just like using each other's bodies to masturbate, basically. For me, there was never a romantic attraction. For him, I think there was at some point. But
so the sex was really good then?
I mean, he was just across the hall. So, and we didn't lock our doors in the dorm. So, like, if you just wanted to come through, like, you could just come through. Like, I was like, I remember one time I was like having a threesome in university, and he just came in with his friends, and I was like, boy, girl, me, and then all of a sudden this motherfucker and his guy friend are here, and like, so yeah, like,
did they join?
No, they ruined it for me, but it was an open door policy between the two of us, you know. And he was the first guy to give me my first and only STD. So I got chlamydia from him, but that was like a year later. But yeah, or 2 years. Yeah,
holy
like
shit.
A year later. Yeah, I mean, I own it. Like, I had just the clap, and, you know, I took the pill and it's gone. So, but I got it from him. I told him I had it, and then one of my good friends also used to sleep with him before we were friends. And then she needed to rebound from her boyfriend. I was like, well, this motherfucker he's the communal penis. You might as well use that one. I was like, I'm not fucking him anymore. He gave me the clap. I was like, I would just proceed with caution on that.
If you told me this guy had chlamydia, I wouldn't even touch him with a 10-foot pole. That's how fucking, maybe that's bad.
She had sex with him, and she forgot she had a tampon in and got toxic shock, because she still fucked him with a tampon in, and he was not small peen. So there was a lot of bussin' in that pussy that night, and she got toxic shock syndrome. But anyway, and she also got chlamydia, because I told him he gave me chlamydia, and then he literally deadass looked at me and goes, I'm immune. And I was like,
he's immune?
He told me that, which I knew wasn't true. Of course, I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, and I was sleeping with like a few other people at the time, so I had to like call her. Like, I was sleeping with this one girl who was on a break from her girlfriend, like you, and then had sex with me, and then got back together with her girlfriend. Her girlfriend was coming down from New York, and then there was the possibility of the chlamydia, and it was her 25th birthday.
Fuck.
I literally wrote her and was like, happy birthday, I might have given you chlamydia. You're welcome.
Dude, if someone called me saying they gave me chlamydia, I would fucking...
I didn't know.
I would get so mad.
Because I used protection with him. Everyone I had sex with, aside from this one guy that gave me chlamydia, he was the only person I didn't use a condom with. There was no busting inside, but we still had sex without a condom. And like, I got it from him, and he told me he was immune. And then 9 months later, my friend had sex with him, and she still got the chlamydias. And now he's married, and I don't know if he still has the chlamydias or not. I like to believe that he doesn't, but I don't know him. I know him well enough, actually, to say that there's a strong possibility he still has the chlamydia.
Jesus Christ. Fucking popping out children. What's he call his daughter? Chlamydia? I'm sorry. I was trying to think of a good name, but no, it didn't come. Jesus. You see, like, I never had that. Like, I went to college, okay? But I never had that crazy college experience. Like, never, because we didn't stay in dorms. We had free classes a week, and then I went home, and I never had like this crazy parties and stuff like that.
Amber Mallory's one of 3 sex and gun stories starts with me in university in the U.S. This is my microphone, so you get that. So, I slept with this guy in university. He was a rugby player.
Ooh.
And
wait, he wasn't tall and muscly?
He was muscly and short.
Oh.
And I slept with him, so we had Snowmageddon, which was like, we got just a metric fuck ton of snow. It was like 3 feet of snow. The university closed for a week because like you would just be walking, and all of a sudden you'd hit stairs, and you just drop.
Oh shit.
Because like the snow was so fucking high that it would look like a whole ass level playing field, and then
Oh, it didn't. Yeah. Oh my god, that's so dangerous. Holy shit.
That's why they closed the university for a week. So I used to work in an experimental lab at my university, and I remember I got the email saying like, all right, we're closing, we're not doing anything. So I finished up, fed the rats, whatever, signed on because they still needed people to feed the rats even though the university was closed. And then the girl across the hall from me in my apartment thought she was pregnant but didn't have enough money to buy a pregnancy test, so she gave me a 30 rack, which is 30 bottles, of Mike's Hard Lemonade, which is a wine cooler, in exchange for me buying her a pregnancy test. So I had 30 Mike's Hard Lemonades, and the university was closed. So I was like, bitch, I'm ready to party. So I filled up my book bag from the guy across the hall. I had his book bag with his initials on it. It was his childhood book bag with TLM. I still have it in the US. Like, it's a fucking Jan Sport childhood fucking book bag. Because he took mine, because it was like weird. So anyway, I have this fucking book bag, clink, 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 through the snow to the rugby house, like with all my wine coolers. And I know the rugby people, so I drop my shit off in their room. And then the one guy, so I want to preface this with, I like people. I don't have like a preference to like peen or veen or in between. I like you as a person. If I like you as a person, I probably want to have sex with you. So this guy was like cool, and we were friends. And at this party, I'm like in his room, like putting my wine coolers down. We're like shooting the shit. I'm like, yeah, man, this is great. Like a snow keg. Wee. This is fun. You remember last week when I fucking did this thing at the party? And all of a sudden he just goes, Amber, we should have sex because you've never had sex with a Hispanic. And I had forgotten that I had before that point. But in the moment, I was drunk, drinking my wine cooler, and I was like, you are right. I'm following the logic. A, B, C. Okay, let's do it. So then we start having sex. And there's 200 people outside the door having a whole party. And we're having sex, and he has like a lock on his door where you can like put a coin in and twist it. Very easy access. So this other guy that I wanted to sleep with, but they had a girlfriend, and they used to like booty call text me at 3 a.m, but then like blue balls me basically. Like I'd get there and I'd be like, okay, it's 2 a.m. I got up, I walked here, like we doing this, and then they would just like want to talk, and I was like, well, this is ugly. So they opened the door. They opened the door, and I'm on top. So I'm full, like you can see everything. So this whole party is going on, and the door's open, and everyone's like looking in, and I'm on top, you know, the one very present there, like making an appearance. I'm not even on the bottom where I can hide myself, like, or doggy style where I can just be like, oh, no one sees me, ass up. No, I was just like, I am here. Where's my Mike's Hard Lemonades, motherfuckers?
Oh my god, it's mental.
So he opens the door, and then like everyone looks in, and then he closes it. And then I'm like, all right, whatever. I can get back into this. So we're going back at it again. Not even a fucking 30 seconds later, that door rips open again. It's the same motherfucker opening the door. And so I was like, okay, this is getting really annoying. And
why did he open the door again?
I think he was bitter that I was having sex with someone who wasn't him, but it's like, you had your chance, and you
this is the guy who kept like booty calling you and blue balling you.
Mm-hmm. So then he does it a third time, and I finally look down at the guy, and I'm like, you know, I just don't think I can keep doing this with all these interruptions, you know, like I just can't get into it. And he goes, yeah. He like kind of not pushes me like aggressively, kind of like pushes me off of him, just kind of like a move. Gets up, hard dick, condom on, pulls out a gun from where, I don't know, opens the door and puts the gun in the face of the first person at the door. And it just so happened one of the guys at the door was a guy that I actually wanted to sleep with. And I was like, oh, he's probably never going to have sex with me now because he had a gun put in his face because of my pussy. see, so that is probably not gonna work out.
You fucking traumatize him.
Yeah, but then, so this motherfucker says, if another motherfucker opens this door, I'ma kill everybody. And
what the fuck?
Just so happened, near where I went to university, there was a huge mass shooting, like 10 years before.
Oh my god, oh shit.
And I was just like, he's at the wrong school to be doing this.
Oh shit.
And so he said that, closes the door again. Remember, hard dick condom on. I'm in bed just watching all this transpire, just like.
Were you not scared? I would have been like, I would have run. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was just watching this whole thing happen, and I was just like, well, goddamn. And he slams the door, and he's like, all right, let's do this. Like Hulk Hogan or like some WWE wrestler. Like, yeah, let's go. And I was just like, getting out of bed, and I was like, well, you know what? I actually think that maybe I can't actually do this. Maybe it's just not for me. And then he goes, okay, and takes off the condom, pulls up sweatpants, walks out into the party like nothing happened. And then I'm just like putting on my clothes, got my wine coolers in my backpack, ding, 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 come out of the party like, hey, everyone, sorry that happened. You know, we all almost died because I wanted to have sex with this guy because he's Hispanic. Excuse me. But that was like how I felt inside. What really happened is I walked out with my wine cooler backpack and everyone's staring at me as if I am the living, breathing plague. And I go up to the guy, Trevor, who opened the door multiple times. And I said, hey, Trevor. And he goes, what? And I said, fuck you. And I punched him in the face in the middle of this party. I fucking clocked him. And then everyone in the party is like, whoa. And he's like, I can't believe you did that. And I was like, yeah. And I punched him in the face again. And then I went home and I went to the sushi restaurant down the street from my house and I bought like 6 orders of avocado rolls, ate it, and watched The Real Housewives. And that's my infidelity / first of my 3 gun and sex stories.
But why did you punch the poor guy in the face?
He opened the door 3 times. Once is an accident. 2 is intentional. 3 times, you're just being a dick and you want to be punched in the face at that point. So yeah, I punched him in the face. And my roommate in college is always like pissed. She's like, I'm so mad you did it and I wasn't fucking there. Her best friend was there, like right next to the guy while I punched him in the face. And she was just like, it was the best thing ever. So yeah, that's what you get. And for blue ballsing me. Fuck you, Trevor. You're fat.
I don't have any stories of guns. I have stories of guns, but not sexual. Damn,
I have some.
Well,
I have a good one. You'll love this one. Wait, this is a gun story, sex story that Quincy will eat up. She'll be lapping this shit up. Okay, so gun story number 3. So 2 will come another day, but this is number 3. I was coming home from my dad's house on Easter Sunday, and my dad was being a proper asshole. It was when Trump was coming through, and I was like going to move to Europe, and so it was like one of my final days. I was like, I'm gonna come hang out with you, motherfucker. So he's watching this Hispanic woman on TV, and she's getting arrested because she ran a stop sign, and he's like, well, the law's the law. If you're an illegal and you're in this country, like, this deserves to happen to you. Preface this by my father's a convicted felon who was given a gun by my stepmother, which a convicted felon in the United States loses their citizenship rights, which means they cannot vote, they cannot own a gun, and many other things. So legally, he cannot own a gun, which, if in fact the law is the law, someone else is breaking the law. And I think a felon having a weapon is just a little bit more intense than this Hispanic woman who ran a stop sign.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who am I to judge? So I pointed that out to him, and I was just very angry because I said that to him. And then instead of being like, yeah, I'm a fuckface, my dad just argued with me. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to leave. So I got on Tinder, and I was like, okay, I just need some peen. And I found this guy who literally looked like Ryan Reynolds, like the Deadpool guy, except for more buff, which isn't usually my thing. But he was covered in tattoos.
Yo, do you still have his at?
No.
Oh, fuck.
But covered in tattoos, all this stuff. And so I wrote him, and I was like, look, I'm having a really bad day, and I'm not usually one to write this on the first message, but do you want to come through? You're hot. And he was like sketching. He was like, oh, really? You want me to come over? I don't know. Girls never message me something like this. I feel like this is a setup. Like, you're going to rob me. Send me your Snapchat. Like, show me your apartment and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I showed him my apartment, and like I had to pick up my roommate on the way home because he was belligerently drunk. And so I put him to bed. And this will become important later. So I put Tyler to bed. And then this guy comes through. I don't even remember his name, Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds comes over with his tattoos and all his gigantic muscly self and his flannel shirt, and he's tall and we're just hot as fuck. I remember I opened the door and I was just like, God is really looking out for me on this fucking Easter. Like, he is here, she is on this earth. Like, they are here with me in this fucking moment. So we sit on my couch and like we have like good banter. Like, he has like a really good sense of humor because you can see I'm really sarcastic. I'm very honest. Like, I like to be funny. So we're just like shooting the shit, having a good time, talking about all this weird stuff. He's like, yeah, I used to be in the military, and I was like, haven't really been around that block, but like, whatever, that's cool. Like, I don't really believe in a military, but if you didn't, like, you're braver than I am. Good for you. So we're talking, we're having a good time. About 10 minutes in, he just looks at me and goes, I have a question for you. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, did you vote for Hillary or did you vote for Trump? And it's like, look at me. My chandelier in my living room has an alien on it, and there's a spray painted pink penis with rhinestones on my wall. Of course I didn't vote for Donald Trump. And he just goes,
I'm going to fuck your brains out.
It's like, because this is 2016 Donald Trump. We're not talking 2021 Donald Trump. We're talking, or 2020 Donald Trump. We're talking 2016 Donald Trump. So if you still voted for him in 2016, it's like, okay, you're a shitbag. But your shitbag question mark. We don't know how deep your shitbagness is. Now we know. But anyway, voted for Donald Trump. So he's like, did you hear that? In the other room. Like a bunch of glass just fell. So I'm like,
yeah, I thought maybe you knocked your glass. You're like, ding.
No. So I heard that, and so he said that, and then I was just like, what? Like, you can't fuck a liberal? I was like, I fucked a few conservatives in my day, like making a joke. And he goes, don't freak out. And I was like, what? And he stands up and he lifts up his shirt to his waistband where there is a gun. And he pulls his gun out and says, I had some bad Tinder experiences. And I was like, thinking in my head, wow, I just put my roommate Tyler to bed. And he's going to be really fucking pissed that on Easter Sunday, I got us all killed because I just wanted some dick. This is a bit of a conundrum. That was my mindset. Like, my roommate's gonna be really pissed when he finds this out. And so then Ryan Reynolds is like, no, like, one time I went out with this person on Tinder and then it turns out they had a dick. And my response was, so you bring a gun to blow it off? I don't see why you bring a gun if you went on a date once and the person happened to have a penis. Like, I'm not really,
what the fuck? It's kind of sketch.
Not really understanding here. We're not understanding each other. And so then he's like, oh, well, I just had like a bad experience once. And so ever since then, I just like to protect myself. Like, I was in the military, me. And I was like, why didn't you just keep it in your trunk? Like, I would just feel a lot more comfortable in your trunk. And so then he's like, oh, well, like, I don't need it, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I was like, so you're ex-military, you might have night terrors. I'm not usually one to let someone spend the night, but if you do, we're going to put this in the other room on the kitchen counter because I don't need you waking up in the middle of the night in a night terror and like fucking killing me. So we put it on my kitchen counter and then we had like incredible sex and like we had like a good relationship for like 2 weeks and then he just kind of like up and ghosted me, I think, because that was too nice. He like used to work as an exterminator and he had like a really long day and I was like, I'll send a pizza to your house. I have enough points. I got a free pizza. And then he never really talked to me after I sent him a free pizza. So,
what the fuck? You got him pizza and he ghosted you?
And then he got mad at me because on my Snapchat story, I met the boyfriend I had before I left the U.S. and moved to Spain. We went to the gas station that I love to get gas station burritos from, and we sat in the floor of my bathtub with the shower on us, like him sitting in front of me, and we ate burritos on the floor of my shower together, and I put it on my Snapchat story because it was fucking hilarious. And then that Ryan Reynolds wrote me weeks later after ghosting me being like, wow, okay. And it's like, bruh, you done unclaimed me. Like there's no going back. I'm having shower burritos elsewhere because you were not shadow. I keep saying shadow. You were not shower burritoing my needs. So I done found that somewhere else. So yeah, that's my third gun story. We'll save the second one for another day. It's not as exciting, quite honestly.
That's
I might still have the pictures from the second gun story, but like it's
what
not
the
as exciting.
Fuck? Holy shit.
So when you say you like American guys,
I gotta be careful. Ask the first question before I ask if you have chlamydia. Do you have a gun?
Do you have the clap and or a Glock?
I remember that American I did fuck though. Remember the first one I fucked?
Yes.
I told you about. Yeah, the one I like really fell for.
Yes.
And did I tell you he has a baby now? Yeah, so like I remember I went to see him after, and after he ghosted me, I went to see him, and then we hanged out, but I obviously got really sick, and then I came back, and then we were like messaging each other, and then I was planning to go out again, and then after like we just kind of stopped messaging each other, and then next month it was like this girl was there, and then she was like, oh, I'm pregnant, and I was like, then they were posting photos like, so like what the fuck? So obviously, like, he was seeing this girl who also lives in Florida, and while he was also seeing me, and then obviously she got preggers.
Military, right? Or he was military, right?
No.
I was gonna say, military people just. No,
he's not circus, but he joined the circus. He was also on the highway,
yes.
But so obviously he was seeing this girl. Sorry, she's not a bitch. I call every girl bitch, like a dog.
I call everyone a bitch too. Like, you're a bitch. Ghost sex story.
God, no.
It's not interesting. One time I was at a friend's house and I took a nap and I was definitely getting fucked while I was napping. And I woke up and I was still on the floor next to my friend while she was on Tumblr. And I'm pretty sure it was a ghost. Because it felt too real to not.
You felt like a dick going in you?
I felt something. And it felt great.
You do know that's demonic, right?
Maybe.
That's a demonic. Do you believe in shit like that?
Yeah, like demons and spirits and ghosts and stuff. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
like
well, it's that. What's that demon called that fucks you?
Incubus or succubus. I think a succubus is the female one, and then the incubus is.
Yeah, that's good spirits don't fuck you. It's actually demonic. So wherever the fuck you were. Man.
Maybe that's why I have all these gun stories and all these crazy stories, and I got that gorilla grip Glock pussy. Someone just bestowed it upon me before. I think I was a virgin when I had that, and I was just like, wowee, that was awesome. I woke up sweating. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm like 15, 16, next to my friend. Like, I took a nap, and she's on Tumblr on her bed. I'm sleeping on her floor, and I woke up sweating because I was literally about to come, and I was like, and I woke up because I was like, I still had like consciousness enough to be like, I'm at my friend's house. I can't have an orgasm next to my friend. And woke up and like looked at her and I was like, was I doing anything in my sleep? And I remember feeling my hands, like thinking like maybe I was sleep masturbating, but like I wasn't. So.
Did I think maybe you were having like just a naughty dream?
No, because I wasn't dreaming. I was only feeling.
Oh.
Like there was no visuals. Like, you know how like when you're like in between sleep, like I was conscious enough to know that like I was on the floor of my friend's bedroom, that my friend was there, that like I was taking a nap. Like I knew like my state of being, but I wasn't dreaming. Like I didn't
Did
see
you have
anyone. There were no visuals. It was just only feeling, and it was great.
Did you have any other like?
Nope, one time.
That
I wish
was
there
it.
was more. Please come back if you're around.
No.
Awesome.
No, I don't want to. Maybe he got what he wanted and he was alright.
Yeah, maybe.
Now he's ghosted you. Get it? Because he's a ghost. He really ghosted you. That's where the term comes from.
Originates.
Oh my god, that's mad. That's
now
actually fucking
like,
mad.
why do all these men ghost you? Now you understand. I was cursed.
Oh no. Oh my god.
I have to do I was possessed once too. That's another story. I'll tell you.
We have to do an episode of ghost stuff because I have quite a few
Next episode.
Ooh, we should do one for like starting for October. Cuz I think October I'm going to do a bunch of spooky content, so
I love it. We can dress up. I don't have my Captain Save-A-Ho outfit, but like that was one of my great costumes.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
Yes, you didn't see that on my Instagram. Wow.
Yeah, you showed it to me. You made it, right?
I fucking made it. I did a Nurse Joy one last year, and my partner was Pikachu, and we.
I saw that. That was really nice.
I won a bunch of vibrators from that because I like posed with a vibrator, and
they
gave me like a bunch. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's cool. Fuck.
Okay, infidelity. So let's talk about the other side of the coin, not being the infidelity person or like having it, but like, do you think it's something you could get past in a relationship?
You know what? I haven't been in a serious relationship in a while, so I'm not sure, but I don't think so. It really depends on the circumstances, but I feel like once you cheat on someone, the respect is gone. But then again, I don't know, because with my first love, when he broke up with me, I fucked a lot of guys because I was like.
But you still had the hearts for him.
Yeah, so that's where I kind of like, I don't know, because I feel like once you fuck someone else, that's it. You're attracted to somebody else, okay? But when I had a situation when the love of my life broke my heart, I went and fucked all his friends, you know, and everyone's like, well, you don't love him if you do that, and I'm just like,
tell me what to do.
This is really weird, but also I was through a partying phase, so I was always out, I was always partying, I never wanted to be home, I never wanted to be alone.
When you have sex with friends, it's because you want attention, you want someone back. Like, it's like revenge, and it's like, I'm seeking this negative attention because like I miss you and I want you to come back into my life.
For me,
like under negative circumstances.
For me, it wasn't that. I never wanted him to find out, okay? For me, it was, I think I was craving that attention and love that I wanted that he wasn't giving me. It's really weird, really, really weird, okay? But like I went.
A different kind of attention.
Yeah.
Like you just wanted love, not necessarily from.
Yeah, I miss being cuddled because I think towards the end of our relationship, he would stop doing that. So I would fuck people. There was one guy I always fucked because, not gonna lie, his dick was big. He was dark skinned. He had Rasta hair, and oh my god, I remember seeing this guy, okay? So I've known about him. He's been in my friend circle for a while. And I remember we have this big party in Italy. It's called... Where it is. Actually, wait. Let me cut that out because I'll be doxxed. Anyway, back. There's a party, a beer festival in Italy. Lots of places have little beer festivals, okay? And he was the bartender, okay? He's a bartender, so you know, bartenders. So here, right, we're at the beer festival. He's like wearing this fireman outfit because it was like dress up day, so everybody was dressed up, and he wore this fireman's outfit with no shirt. And he wasn't like super muscular, but he had a nice he was big but toned, a big toned body and like this long rasta hair, and he just had this beautiful smile. And I looked at him and I remember going like, this is me, vodka Red Bull at the time with a cigarette being like, and I remember turning to my cousin, I'm like, that one is mine. Look. Walked up to him, he was serving at the bar, and I was all like, you know, he was like, hey Quincy, how you doing? And I was like, I'll be good once you make me a vodka Red Bull. So I said something like that in Italian, you know? And he was like, oh, okay. And then he started giving me free drinks all night. And then that night I was like hovering around and he was like, yeah, what are you doing? You know? And obviously I didn't want to go home. I was never home. I lived and breathed party and I was just, you know, just like didn't want to be home alone. And so I fucked this guy and amazing sex, okay? Amazing sex. But every time we fucked, he cuddles me. He was a cuddler. But every time we cuddled and stuff, I would lay there and I would feel so much regret. Even though I fucked him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get the deal. I even fucked him last time I went to Italy. You know. But like, I wanted, and I'll be laying there and he'd be cuddling me and I'd be like feeling so bad and I'd be like, and all I could think of is my ex, the love of my life. And it was same when I fucked other guys as well, you know, I fuck and then I'd lay there and I think I did all this stuff to get him out of.
I never felt regret when I cheated. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, with him I did, you know, I regretted it. And then after, worst thing is that we were talking about getting back together, and we were at this party. No, well, it came out in the end, and then it came out. But we were at this party, and this guy was there, this new guy, never saw before, super tall, super hot, okay? And my love of my life at that time was like, oh, I don't know, feel like he was teasing me. Mm-hmm. So the party had a blackout. There was a full-out blackout at the party, okay? The DJ booth got closed, everything, it was all complete darkness, okay? And I was talking to this hot guy, and my ex was there at the time, and we started making out, okay? Because I was obviously...
And the lights came on?
Worse. I was what's the word? Belligerently? Drunk, okay? I was so fucking drunk. And I was making out with this hot guy, you know, because I was in a really bad mental state. I don't ever go through that shit that I went through that time. Falling in love sucks.
I don't ever want to be making out with hot men and blackouts. Got it.
I don't ever want to fall in love like that and get my heart broken. Getting your heart broken is fucking horrible. I only had my heart broken once, and let me tell you that I don't want ever to have it happen to me again. It was horrible. If you've ever had your heart severely broken, I feel your pain, my friends. So we're making out, and I'm like being sneaky, you know, because I'm like, oh, I don't want him to see. I don't know why the fuck I was doing this, because I really wanted to get back with him. That was all I wanted, you know. So we're making out, and next minute I'm making out, and I see this. It turned up, it's him. He was like, oh, wow, you love me, eh? You want to get back with me, eh? You fucking whore. And he walks away, and I have my little like purse, my little pouch thing, and I'm like, fuck you, I love you, you son of a bitch. And I throw the fucking purse, and you see it, and it's hard, it's like one of those hard purses, and all you see is this purse going, and whacks him across the fucking head. And then we had to like call the ambulance because his head was cut open and shit. Yeah.
You're funny.
And then I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, there in the ambulance. And I was like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. But I was, it's the truth. It's what happened. I was on my knees begging for forgiveness. And he was like, you just threw your fucking pass at me. And I was like, because you called me a whore. And he was like, well, because you were kissing this guy. I thought we were getting back together. And I was like, I don't know why. I was like, I don't know why I did that.
I'm not good with that stuff because I come with like a sarcastic response and then I get serious, and so that would have been my first thought, like, bitch, you thought. Oh, really though.
Well, really, I love you. But wait, let me go suck this off a guy's dick quickly. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why I did that. I guess I was looking for...
Craving something.
Yeah, I was craving something. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. And then we never really, yeah, so... I guess I kind of cheated, but I don't feel like I did because he's the one who broke up with me, so...
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are broken up, I mean, that's kind of the contingent of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But you were released from your contract, and if you then decided to dabble, you were not obligated to anybody.
Exactly.
So that's hilarious. No, I don't know if I could forgive someone because now I'm in a relationship where, like, I truly love the person, and I feel like... And like how you were saying, like, you've had your heart broken. Like, I thought I'd had my heart broken by people Turns out I haven't. But I know if like the shit that I'm in right now fell through, I would be figgity fucked up. So I don't think I could go back, like, if this person told me, like, they cheated on me, especially because, like, we don't necessarily have an open relationship, but we've definitely done things with other people, but we've done it with each other and with total, yeah, for sure. Like, my New Year's 2020, like, we had a threesome. But, like, it's funny because, like, we started out the year, like, with such, like, a crazy thing and then a fucking pandemic. But we have such an open line of communication. Like, we talk about, like, we both agree that, like, we're not the only people that the other people will, like, fuck. But, like, we communicate that to each other. Like, we don't actively search for anyone. But, you know, like, if we went to a bar somewhere and, like, he was like, oh, I'm kind of keen on this person. I was like, okay. Like, as long as, like, we have that line of communication, for me, it's okay. But, like, you know, not everybody operates that way. But I feel like if he did something behind my back and didn't tell me, that's where, like, I would feel just so fucked up, especially since we keep this line of communication. We have this openness. And then
so if he said to you, I want to go fuck this girl, is it okay or no?
It depends. It depends on the scenario. You know, like, if it's like a friend, I would feel uneasy about it because, like, I feel like friendships can evolve. If it was like some random girl at a bar, it would kind of depend. Like, if I had someone that I was kind of eyeing at the bar too, okay, like, I'm open to it because then I wouldn't be thinking about it. But, like, if you pursue said girl, I would also like to be involved unless I can find a third party that I can be involved with, like, not necessarily thinking about it. But, like, when we had our threesome, the next day we were talking about how we felt closer in our relationship after that. Like, the threesome for me wasn't even that great. It was like male, female threesome. And I was like, nah, honestly, it wasn't that great. But I was like, I told him, I was like, the whole time I was really worried about you. And I was worried because, like, this is your first threesome. Like, I've done this before, but I was worried that, like, you'd feel some kind of way about it. And he's like, no, honestly, like, I feel closer to you. Like, we had that connection. We had that. Because he really pushed me to do it. Because I was like, oh, like, I'm worried. Yeah, he was like, because I told him, I was like, well, it was like a guy in the room in our hostel. And I was like, well, he says he finds me attractive. And honestly, like, I find him attractive too. Could, like, I make out with him? And then he was like, oh, like, I made out with him. He, like, let me make out with him. I had 2 New Year's kisses, 2020, like, my partner and this guy. My partner's contingent was, like, as long as I'm first. And I was like, okay. So then, like, the one guy, the other guy was like, well, we should have a threesome. And I was like, I don't really want to. The other guy even paid all the people in our hostel room to get the fuck out so we could have the room to ourselves for a few hours. So I was like, I don't want to do anything with other people in the room. Like, that makes me really uncomfortable, this, that, and the other. And, like, both of them were so down for it. And I was so worried about my partner that it would change things in our relationship.
Yeah, because it can.
Like,
it can.
Want the experience.
Yeah.
I was like, I want the experience. I want to do it. Like, let's do it. Like, let's have fun. Like, let's live. You know, that's what life is for. And so, like, I was still uneasy. But now I know if this situation arises again, we have that experience where I was, like, really uncomfortable. But now we both have that lived experience together where we know we could do better in another situation. So that's what we're looking forward to, like, moving into a bigger city, like, hopefully do something a little bit better and do something with another girl because, you know, like, it's like I got all the attention in the last one, so now it's their turn.
Oh, because, so, you know, you're right to worry because it can change. People can be like, yeah, and then after the last minute, they'll be like...
They see the action, and it's different when you see it. You know, it's like, I want to go skydiving, and then when you're fucking looking down at the ground, you're like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore.
What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing?
That's crazy.
Infidelity is a very complex thing that is definitely individualized. It's by the person, it's by the relationship, it's by
Here's the question, because we're talking about infidelity, okay? And obviously you do sex, you study about sex and stuff like that. I don't know if this is in your studying as well, but, like, why do you think people cheat? And wait, I'm gonna pause you there because I really have to pee. I have to pee
too. But okay, so what was your question you asked me?
Why do you think people cheat?
Okay. So why do people cheat? I feel like that's really hard to answer, and I don't think that there's a straight answer for that, quite honestly, because, like you said, in your instance, you were cheating because you were looking for some sort of affection, not even necessarily sex. You were just looking for affection. Whereas, like, when I was doing it, I was just doing it because my mentality is, one, I'm young. This isn't necessarily the person I'm going to marry. So if I'm not going to marry them, like, why am I going to stop myself from having certain experiences because of someone I think I'm really invested in, when in reality, in a month or two, it's probably going to fizzle out.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to stop myself from living my best hoe life. So I feel like there isn't really a straight answer to that. It's a really hard question. I don't think there'll ever be a true key to that. I think because as people, we're just so complex. And I mean, cheating in and of itself is so complex because people consider cheating like watching you on ePlay could be considered cheating for some couples. Whereas other couples like me, you know, like my partner could go fuck someone else. And as long as we had a conversation about it, for me, it's not cheating. And that horrifies a lot of people. So I don't know. How would you, what do you think, honestly?
I feel exactly like you. Same. People are all different. I think people cheat for different reasons. I don't think there's a proper psychology way. Maybe there is. Someone can explain it. But, like, I think it's because it's like men. Men, when they cheat, they love their wives, right? Sometimes they don't want to leave their wives. No, I love my wife. I want to be with my wife. But I have needs, no? My wife maybe the wife is tired and she's looking after the kids. And it can happen, you know? Some women are tired and they're all day and she's too tired to have sex. Or maybe he wants to be stepped on and his wife doesn't want to step on him. Or maybe he knows he's not even going to bother asking his wife to do something like that because he's her husband, or not talking to husband, by the way. This is woman and man, okay? Whatever. Their partner is not going to do that stuff, you know? So I'm like,
I think what it comes down to, like what you're saying is that people always have like needs, basically.
Yeah.
And that in the core of your needs, that sex and love don't necessarily intertwine.
No.
And you can love someone with your whole heart of hearts and have horrible sex with them, or vice versa. You can fucking hate someone and have the most incredible sex ever. Like we talked about hate sex in episode 2 or 3. Like sex and love are perceived to be two things that if you have one, you have the other, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I think people cheat because we have this perception, and that's not the reality.
Yeah.
You can have one without the other.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, like when I was in relationships, I would still use my vibrator because I needed that sexually. I needed to masturbate and orgasm and feel that feeling that I got by pleasuring myself, because I know my partner wouldn't be, my partner could make me come sometimes, but it wouldn't be as intense as it would be when I masturbate because I know my body, you know, everyone's like, yeah, but you could teach your boyfriend. Yeah, I can teach him how to hold it, whatever, but it's not the same.
He doesn't know how it feels to me.
Exactly. It's not the same, you know? So I feel like it can also be like out with some people, you know, like, oh, I'm with my boyfriend, but he doesn't want to choke and spank me. And, you know, sometimes you get married. This is what happens why a lot of men sometimes can also stray away from marriage. Because you marry someone, and you think, oh, I love them, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, fuck, I want to be stepped on, okay? Let's do this. I want to be stepped on. And you think after a while you'll be okay, you know? But, you know, this need and want is always going to be playing in your head. Especially if you're someone who's quite sexually high sex drive, you know? Someone you cares. Some people don't even care about sex, you know? There's some people out there who really... I've talked to a lot of people. I know I have a lot of friends who are not really... that about sex, you know, they don't care. I have some friends who are virgins at 22, 25, and they're not they're like, oh yeah, we have normal sex, but they're not like,
for them it's not a critical issue.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I'm like, what? Like, you don't masturbate? Like, you don't have a toy? Like, for me, that's great, because I like me and you have met. Me and you talk about sex all the fucking time. Like, I think you're the same like me, right?
We use toys next to each other. We literally use each other's toys. Like,
exactly. Like, we're sex monsters, you know? Like, I'm someone, like, if I were to be with somebody, I would need him also to be quite sexually active, you know, or someone like, it's been times in my relationships where I've not been so sexually active, and that's come sometimes from me, you know. Sometimes I maybe I don't feel good. If I don't feel sexy, I feel like I can't perform. And the same when I'm camming as well. Like, if I don't feel sexy, if I'm feeling, I feel a bit bloated today, or I'm having a fat month, or, you know,
if you don't have the vibe.
Yeah, exactly. It affects me camming as well. Like, I don't want to do, or I'll maybe won't do cum shows for a while, you know. But, you know, like, it's just, yeah. So if your boyfriend or girlfriend cheats or partner, whatever, it does not
Talk about it.
Talk about it. It's not a logical answer. It's something to do with that more. I don't know.
And honestly, professionals say that if you can get past the distrust from cheating, the relationship can withstand. So if you can get past the breaching of the trust.
Yeah, but that's really hard, though.
Of course.
That's really hard. Like with my brother and his ex-wife, they were together since they were 16, okay? So they were together really young. And my brother, straight, because obviously there was a woman there.
Exploration and
you know, yeah, because he's always been with the same woman, yeah.
One person. This is why I said, like, I cheated in the past because I was like, I'm not going to marry this person, so why am I going to not live my life?
Yeah, exactly. He really loved his ex-wife. Like, when they broke up, he cried a lot. He wore his wedding ring for ages, you know, like, he was very, very regretful, you know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had a discussion with her, and she also said, look, she tried, because she also loved him very much. She tried really hard to forgive him. But she's a very strong woman, very strong-minded, and it was just too much for her, you know? It was kind of like, what's that? Not ego. What's the word for that? Very... Just didn't sit right with her, you know?
Like she's independent. Like, she has her boundaries, and they were crossed, and that's it. Like, there's no going back. Yeah. Some people can forgive and forget, and for some people, they're scarred. It's over.
She said to me she was scarred. She tried. She tried so much. She really wanted to forgive and forget, you know, because, you know, they had a discussion, you understand, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
But she just said, like, every time she was with him, it was just playing, and it was, like, really fucking with her mental health, because it was just constantly, you know, and then it comes to oh, is he gonna do it again, or is he looking at her, or is he this, because they were also working at the same company, okay? Same show, so she still had to see this other girl's fucking face.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, some people just can't. For me, I don't know. It really depends on what kind of relationship I've had. I you know, my last relationship was like almost 4 years ago now, and so before, if you asked me this before, I would be like, no, totally not. Now, I don't know. Because now I feel if I were to have a relationship, I would be like you, Amber, and try and be open and have a very open communication. Because as we talked about in our first episode about communication, that is one of my top things I would love in my next relationship, is a communication and have an open... Yeah.
It's incredible, honestly. But thank you all for watching. As you can see, time has transpired and time has passed as I've been sitting here in front of the light, and now I have to use my artificial lighting, which is quite harsh. So with that, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here at the Q&A podcast. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for tuning in for episode 5. Please be there for episode 6, 7, and a million. Quincy and I love doing this together. I mean, honestly, like we sit down and have a great time. Even when we're at the peak stress, we still make time for this and make time for you. So thank you so much for providing us with questions, ideas, themes, topics, everything. And make sure you follow us, tip us, and just help us out.
I'm gonna do the typical YouTube thing. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and check out all our socials below in the description, and follow all our socials. And yeah. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
See you.